Why does betrayal always start with something so small? For me, it was a piece of plastic. I was in our dimly lit bedroom, searching for a phone charger in my wife Sarah's purse, something I'd done 1,000 times. But this time, my fingers brushed against something unfamiliar. I pulled it out. It was a hotel key card for the Langham, Chicago. We hadn't been to Chicago in years. Then I saw another one tucked in a side pocket. The Westin Seattle. My blood ran cold. She was supposed to be at a marketing conference in Denver. My hands started to shake as I held the keys. Cold, hard proof of a life I knew nothing about. What else was in here? If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel. Tell us where you're from and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. The key cards felt like poison in my hand. I shoved them back into her purse just as I heard her car pull into the driveway. When she walked in, all smiles and tired sighs from her conference, I played the part of the loving husband. I asked, "How was Denver, honey?" She launched into a detailed, vibrant story about presentations and networking events. Every word was a lie, and every word felt like a nail being hammered into my chest. For the next few weeks, I lived in a fog of suspicion. I started noticing things I'd previously ignored. The late-night work emergencies, the sudden obsession with her phone, which was now always face down and locked. One evening, I was cleaning out our shared car and found a crumpled receipt under the passenger seat. It was from a high-end restaurant on Rush Street in Chicago, dated 2 weeks prior, the same week she was supposedly in Denver. The bill was for 2 people with 2 entrees and a very expensive bottle of wine. The name on the credit card slip wasn't hers. It was Mark Jennings, her boss, the man she once described as a harmless, married family man. My stomach churned. It all started clicking into place. The hushed phone calls she'd take in the other room, the way her face lit up when a text came through. It was him. When I subtly brought up Mark's name one night, asking how he was, Sarah's demeanor shifted instantly. Her smile tightened. Her eyes went cold. "Why are you asking about Mark?" "He's just my boss," she snapped, her voice laced with an unfamiliar venom. That was the moment the woman I married disappeared, replaced by a cold, manipulative stranger. She started gaslighting me, making me feel crazy for being suspicious. "You're being so insecure lately," she'd say, with a dismissive wave of her hand. "Maybe you're the one with something to hide." The cruelty was astonishing. She wasn't just cheating. She was enjoying the power it gave her over me. They grew bolder, more arrogant. One Saturday, I was at a local diner, Lou Mitchell's, trying to clear my head when I saw them. Sarah and Mark walking down the street, hand in hand, laughing without a care in the world. They didn't see me. They looked so comfortable, so untouchable. They thought they were invisible. Mark with his smug, self-satisfied grin, and Sarah, looking at him with an adoration she hadn't shown me in years. They were living a whole other life right under my nose, in our city, flaunting it. Humiliation washed over me, hot and suffocating. I felt like a ghost watching my own life being dismantled. That night I broke. I locked myself in my home office, surrounded by photos of us from happier times, our wedding, our first home trips we'd taken. The man in those pictures was a fool. I cried until I had nothing left, a gut-wrenching, silent scream of pure agony. The love I had for her curdled into something else, something cold and hard. As the sun came up, the grief solidified into a chilling resolve. They wanted to humiliate me. They wanted to feel untouchable. Fine. I would build a cage for them, piece by piece, and they wouldn't even see the bars until it was too late. My pain was now my fuel. My transformation was quiet. I became a ghost in my own home. I bought a small, discreet voice recorder and a location tracker for her car. I set up an old phone to auto-forward her texts to me. I became a meticulous archivist of my own destruction. I documented everything. Screenshots of their romantic texts planning meets. Audio recordings of their phone calls filled with whispered sweet nothings and cruel jokes at my expense. I tracked her car to boutique hotels I never knew existed. I collected receipts, credit card statements, and hotel folios. Every piece of evidence was a stone I laid for the foundation of her ruin. My plan had 2 fronts, legal and social. For the legal side, I hired the most ruthless divorce attorney in Chicago. We structured the divorce filing to be submitted at the precise moment of maximum impact. For the social trap, I discovered through my digging that Mark was on the verge of a massive promotion to senior vice president at their company. a publicly traded firm with a strict code of conduct policy. He was also the keynote speaker at their upcoming annual charity gala, an event attended by the entire corporate leadership, major clients, and his wife. Sarah was so proud, telling me she would be sitting at the head table with him. "It's a huge night for Mark," she'd said, beaming. And for me, the night of the gala arrived. Sarah looked radiant in a new dress, the one I knew Mark had bought for her. As she left, she gave me a condescending pat on the cheek. "Don't wait up," she said. An hour later, my attorney filed for divorce, citing adultery and providing the first wave of evidence. I sent a carefully curated package to the company's CEO, the entire board of directors, and the head of HR. It contained transcripts of their conversations, photos of them together, and copies of hotel receipts paid for with Mark's corporate card. But the masterstroke was for the gala itself. I had hired a small tech crew. As Mark stepped up to the podium to give his keynote speech, the massive screens behind him, meant to display corporate logos, flickered, and then it began. A slideshow. A photo of Sarah and Mark kissing outside the Langham, a screenshot of a text from Sarah to Mark, "My idiot husband has no idea," then. An audio clip played over the ballroom-esque sound system, Sarah and Mark laughing about how they were fooling everyone, mocking me by name. The room fell into a dead silence. I could picture the scene perfectly. The sea of shocked faces, Mark's wife staring in horror, and Sarah at the head table, her face draining of all color as her world imploded in front of everyone she wanted to impress. Security escorted a pale, trembling Mark off the stage. The aftermath was swift and brutal. Mark was fired the next morning for gross misconduct and misuse of company funds. His wife filed for divorce the same day. Sarah was fired too for her role in the scandal. She came home to find the locks changed and a restraining order waiting for her. Her friends, many of whom were colleagues, abandoned her. Her family was ashamed. I took everything in the divorce of the house, our savings, our dignity. She was left with nothing but the public shame I had so carefully engineered for her. She tried to call, to text, to scream, but I never responded. I just watched from a distance as the life she blew up for a cheap thrill turned to ash. I still live in our house, but it's silent now. Sometimes, late at night, I walk through the dimly lit rooms, and I can almost hear the echo of her laughter, but it's just the wind. But I don't feel like a winner. I just feel empty. Every night, I sit in the dark and hold the only thing I have left of our life together. The 2 hotel key cards that started it all, the end.